What's up guys, today we're playing Blackout, which is the new Battle Royale mode of Black Ops 4, and I'm going to be giving you some tips and tricks that I've learned so far throughout the game.
Wow, you beast! What was that?
I usually would be playing on PC, but I don't really play with anyone on there, so I'm going to be giving you some tips and tricks on how to get better since console is much different than PC and I'm only playing console right now. If you guys want to see more tips that relate to both of them or specifically PC, just leave a like on this video and I'll make some more Black Ops 4 videos. A lot of these actually do relate to both console and PC, but some of these tips are focused more on console, and I'm not the best player in the world, but I do have about 30 wins or so, mostly in duos, and most of them were in the first couple days of release, so I do have some experience. I still don't have any solo wins, so maybe I'll make a video getting my first solo win because I haven't really played solo. I think I've only played like 3 games so far. I got up like in like the first couple places, but if you guys want to see a video on that, just let me know down in the comments. Now, this isn't Fortnite where they kind of made console be able to compete with PC players. If PC played against a console player in here, I'd say 9 times out of 10 you'd get destroyed. Not just because a mouse is way more accurate than a controller, but also how garbage the looting system is in here. I feel like it could have been done a bit better. There's not a whole lot you can do to help this besides going into your settings and changing the way you pick things up from holding the button to just clicking it. So on Xbox, instead of holding X, you'd click it. On PS4, instead of holding square, you would just click square. You can also go into your settings and change the controller layout. There's tons of different settings here. The tactical setting swaps your melee and crouch buttons. This has always been a great setting for Call of Duty. I think it's been in like every single Call of Duty game. It helps with your aim a lot, being able to crouch with the right stick instead of the B button or circle button, because you won't have to move a finger to push the crouch button, you'll just click your stick in. There's tons of other settings here though, including ones that change your ADS to toggle instead of holding it, meaning you'll just click your left trigger or L2 and it'll stay aimed in until you click it again. I would definitely take a look in here and see what would help you out the best. Test a few different settings out if you kind of want to try something new. I wish they would make it so you can personally select each button like PC and what Fortnite just added to console instead of only being able to pick their layouts. Be able to set your own buttons for what you want to do. That would help out a lot. Maybe we'll see it in a future update just like Fortnite added. It would also be pretty cool to be able to change our ADS sensitivity as well, kind of like in Rainbow Six Siege. Now for my next tip, which is if you're not very good at the game, play a ton of multiplayer. Even if you are pretty good, multiplayer will help you get better. Playing multiplayer will help you get better at close range combat and aiming, and just help you learn the mechanics of the guns a little better. Just go into there and run the guns that you would usually use in Blackout, and besides changing your settings, buying analog grips or paddles, I would say this is the best way to get better at aiming. And since we're on the subject of buying things to help your aim, again, grips for your analog sticks and paddles are great. I used to use paddles on my controller, but I took them off because it messes with my audio if I want to record game chat. It just messes with my console setup, but these help you a lot because you won't have to take your fingers off the stick to push a button, just like the tactical setting helps. If you play claw, using your pointer finger to push buttons instead of your thumb, this isn't much of an issue, but paddles still help. Analog grips just seem to help you with your aim in general and are much cheaper. I'm pretty sure you can get these for a few bucks off Amazon, but as for paddles, the last time I checked, there's only like one company making them. I think I got mine from Walmart, and there was like around 40 bucks. I wouldn't really say paddles are worth it unless you've got a ton of extra money to spend and you want to purchase something to help you get better at the game. But again, if you want to learn how to aim better and learn the mechanics of the guns, I would go into multiplayer and get a ton of hours on there. Now, I see a ton of people not use their equipment like 9bangs and concussions and all of that. Make sure you put your 9bangs, concussions, sensor darts, all of those to good use, and abilities like dead silence and skulker, make sure you use all of those. 9bangs and concussions are the most overpowered tools in the game. Cluster bombs are also insanely overpowered, especially when somebody's set up camp in a fireplace.
They're gonna campfire! Jump in here!
9bangs will completely blind the person you're fighting, and concussions will blind them a little bit, but it also keeps them from aiming down their sights or moving. Concussions are insane. Awareness is also a great ability or perk since it allows you to hear people way better, especially since the audio in here is complete garbage. I really hope they're going to put out a patch soon to improve the audio because it's just a complete mess. That's something I thought they said they were going to fix after the beta, but it seems just as bad still. But anyways, my point is that awareness is awesome for improving the sounds that enemies make. Paranoia is also great because you'll hear whispers whenever someone's aiming at you. I usually try to look out for 9bangs, concussions, cluster grenades, awareness, paranoia, skulker, and dead silence. Don't camp like a poon. Nobody likes a camper, and it's extremely annoying when you roll up into a house with 2 guys sitting in a bathroom together waiting until the game ends. It's pretty crazy the amount of time that some people will wait in a room. So also make sure you check every house and corner for campers. It's unbelievable sometimes, the amount of campers in here. But anyways, you're not going to get better at the game by camping, and if you finally do get a win, it's not going to be very satisfying. The best way to get better at this game is to get in as many fights as possible and learn how to shoot your gun. If you're not good at fighting at all, again, the great thing about Black Ops 4 is that Blackout isn't the only way to practice. You can go into multiplayer until you get better. Now, in terms of getting a high kill game like in Fortnite or PUBG, it's a lot harder in here because people are more spread out with so many mountains and buildings across the map. I'd prefer to land where there's a lot of people landing, like at school in PUBG or Tilted Towers in Fortnite, but there's really not something in here that compares to those. There's a lot more people in here that are scared of action and try to go to the most secluded thing possible. Firing range is probably the best for immediate action, but even then, it's still not super packed with people most of the time. I can't seem to get above 10 kills a game. I've gotten a few 10 kill games, but it's just hard to find people most of the time, and I can't seem to get above that. The most action kind of depends on the zone, so when you're landing, just try to get familiar with a decent location like firing range, fracking tower, river town, or train station, a decent sized place somewhere towards the middle of the map, and get familiar with it. Learn the crate drops and where a good amount of loot usually is, and try to land there every time. Always stick to cover. I hate comparing this to Fortnite, but since Fortnite is the only game competing with Black Ops 4 right now, and they're both Battle Royale games, I'm going to compare them. In Fortnite, you can build to block bullets, and here you can't. And here, if you get shot in the back or get caught off guard, it's extremely hard to turn it around on the other person, especially if you're not around any cover. So my last tip is to always try to stick to cover, especially towards the end of the game when the zone's closing in. Make sure that you have cover in front of you to move to in the next zone. You kind of want to try to plan this ahead because I've died so many times because I had no cover in front of me and I had to move towards the zone, but I couldn't because there was no cover in front of me, and then I run out and get shot and I can't do anything about it because there's no cover. This is especially bad towards Turbine when the game is ending towards Turbine, and it does that a lot. A lot of times it ends towards there. There's not a whole lot of cover, especially if you're not around the huge rocks, so try to look ahead of time where you can go when the zone closes in. And when you're behind cover like a tree or a rock, something small, make sure you move around a little bit still. This game is terrible with bad angles and whatever the problem is called where you can't see a guy but they can see you. I've died so many times where I thought I was behind a tree, but apparently half of my body was sticking out on their screen, or I'm behind cover and my elbow is still sticking out. But that's pretty much it, guys. If you want to see more Black Ops 4 videos, whether it's on Blackout or even zombies, because I love both, or some gameplay, let me know down in the comments because I'm loving this game and I'm pretty addicted to it right now. Also, don't forget to leave a like on the video and share this video with a friend that's playing Blackout as well. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya.